Welcome. This is Micah Fairchild, Editor-in-Chief of HRLab.com. Today our conversation turns to talent management technology. I'm joined by my colleague, Chuck Schaefer, CEO of Vantiv Media. Hey, Chuck. How are you today?
I'm doing well today, Micah. How are you?
I can't complain. So let's jump right in. Talent management tech. It's big. You got forecasts of year-over-year growth of 10% in a market looking at somewhere around $4.5 billion. And even though it's been around a while, it seems to still be top of mind for HR executives and business leaders. So as a business leader yourself, what's your initial take on talent management technologies?
Talent management and its enabling technologies offer serious and strategic business opportunities. However, inconsistent industry nomenclature and shifting buzzwords remain an issue in the HR and HCM software space. The industry seems to have evolved from personnel to HR to human capital, and now we're hearing descriptors such as talent management and behavioral-based economics. And of course, many thought leaders, practitioners, and vendors use them all, sometimes interchangeably, which can be confusing. Aside from all this, it's still not clear to many whether the term talent management captures the essence of this management discipline or sounds more like the next incarnation of a short-term process fad.
I know. I guess, what's interesting to me is how long the term has actually been around and what it actually represents.
Now that's true. It's been, about 15 years since Softscape coined the term talent management?
You're exactly right. And I think it was somewhere around 1998. The fact that it's had this much staying power, I think, is a testament to at least how organizations perceive its worth.
I agree, but wouldn't you say that the term talent management is also indicative of the identity crisis that HR as an industry has gone through and continues to go through? From my perspective as a CEO, it seems as though there isn't really a consensus understanding and a substantive difference between HR, HCM, and talent management. Granted, there have been reams of research that point to the fact that HR as a function needs to become more strategic, but shouldn't it have always been that way? That's what talent management seems to aspire to achieve, to be the strategic side of human resources.
You certainly make a valid point, and I wouldn't disagree with it. Burson and Associates put together a pretty interesting survey not that long ago. They found that only about 7% of organizations actually have a strategic HR operation, even though you've got numerous studies that have pointed to the fact that more revenue per employee is generated by being strategic. Your turnover rates are nearly half as low as non-strategic companies. Employee engagement is about 40% higher. I think what we're seeing in the industry and why talent management has proven to be of such interest is that the call to action for HR is to be more strategic, and that's reached a fevered pitch. You take three of the most recent trends, for example. You've got these unprecedented demographic shifts around the world. Two, you've got shortage of critical skill employees and talent gaps from both line employees on up to the C-suite. Three, you've got an economic situation that has created a sea change in both business priorities and efficiency seeking. Each of these areas is pushing the HR department into an executive level role, making talent management applications into something that's mission critical.
Well, that would certainly seem to prove out the point of why we're seeing so many technology vendors in the HR software space gobbling up these cloud, social, and niche-oriented talent management providers. There have been over 50 acquisitions in just the last 2 years. And even the major players are getting in on the trend. After all, one of Oracle's main reasons for acquiring Taleo was for its talent management feature sets like recruitment, performance, and learning. And in similar fashion, SAP's acquisition of SuccessFactors was built from the idea of a full suite of talent management capabilities that SAP will now be able to deploy in the cloud. What has really intrigued me, though, about these latest movements with talent management suites is how many companies are opting to select best-of-breed solutions for talent management rather than leveraging the capabilities of their current HRMS solutions.
Yeah, I think the issue at hand there is that core HR systems are fragile. And you've got strategically focused companies that are looking for the best products available, even if it's not from their system of record vendor. Plus, the cloud has really started to change the landscape, especially in terms of what customers expect with regard to innovation and flexibility. we're seeing this perfect storm of factors that are coming together with companies like Workday innovating at a pace that, bigger vendors like Oracle and SAP, they're having trouble competing with. And software life cycles are coming to a close. That's prompting countless customers to consider full-scale rip and replace scenarios. And newer business technologies like software as a service has finally become widely accepted for the scalability and customized experience that can provide.
Good points for sure. Cloud IT services delivery is clearly a game changer when it comes to HR applications. What's still somewhat puzzling, though, is how the impetus for talent management is to break down traditional HR silos, and yet the selection of separate talent management suites seems to go against that objective. For example, if you look at the core talent management functionalities like recruitment, performance, succession, and learning, each of these functions has to be integrated with the others in order for it to be truly effective. The same goes for a company's core HRMS. Having a single unified system that is integrated with each of those talent management functions is where true automation, insight, and action occurs.
Agreed. And, unified applications certainly seem to make the most sense to me. I think that's why so many of the pundits within the industry have latched on to what's happening with those big companies like Oracle, SAP, Ultimate, Workday. These vendors are finally starting to offer that fully unified solution. And by the way, I have to say that I really like that you're bringing out that CEO point of view for our audience. So let's take that one step further. If your company was looking at deploying a talent management software solution, what do you think the top 3 or 4 things would be that you're looking for?
That's a good question. Well, obviously each organization's needs will be individually influenced based on their business objectives and internal constraints. I do think there's at least 4 criteria to seriously consider. First, as we just mentioned, a unified suite solution that allows for vendor-managed integration with all my HR systems is critical. Second, manager and employee self-service functionality delivers big payback. I'm still amazed by how many solutions don't offer this capability and how effective this technology can be with regard to manager self-service portals, which include rich workforce planning capabilities and access to human capital and business performance scorecards. We have a flat, highly productive structure, so authority and accountability needs to be pushed as far down as possible. Third, social HR and social media integration will be paying increased dividends as our workforce evolves. For my business, social tools are critical. While obviously recruiting top talent is a big reason for this, I also want to be able to utilize that flat structure I just referenced for collaborative activities. After all, innovation and excellence can only come from an employee at any time, but you have to offer and promote those channels to harness that innovation. Fourth, business intelligence is what drives continuous process improvement. Although the scorecards for managers are good, what I really want from an HR or talent management application is the ability to gain actionable insight into my workforce, to increase what's working or quickly implement course corrections for what's not. I'm not talking about simple ad hoc reporting tools, though. I need data mining capabilities, data warehousing, predictive analytics, and multi-dimensional data analysis with OLAP tools that are specifically designed for financial and business analytics. Unfortunately, there are only a handful of HCM software vendors that include this type of functionality.
Well, it sounds like you've got a pretty good plan going forward, and actually that winds up being an excellent way for us to end our time today. So thank you for joining us in our discussion on talent management technologies. I hope you'll join us next time as we continue to discuss the intersections of HCM strategy, process, and technology.